This is Crypto Basics by Kryptonites. Kryptonites is a team of young crypto enthusiasts who envision bridging the crypto divide so that everyone may be a part of this big change. Crypto Basics is a podcast series with the founder of Kryptonites, Dr. Kant Miriala, who is also a crypto guru, and I am Divya Swami, your host.
Okay, Divya, what's your next question?
Dr. Kant, how are share tokens different from currency tokens?
So crypto tokens or ICO tokens is what you're referring to as share tokens. So if it is NEM or NEO or Budbo or whoever that we checked out recently are selling tokens, those are connected in some utilitarian value. There is some utilitarian value because you can do something with the token, right? You can buy something or you can do a transaction or redeem something or get some loyalty points or get some benefit. So these tokens have some hidden utilitarian value. But you're saying, what about currencies? What is the utilitarian value? That's a funny thing, right? So if you look at a piece of paper and it's $100 bill, but you have never seen it, if I say I'll give you $100 for your camera, assuming it's worth $100, you'll be excited and you'll take my $100 and give me your camera if you recognize the $100 bill. But you're from a part of the world that has never seen a $100 bill. If I'm going to give you a $100 piece of paper and take your camera, you'll say no, right? So a currency is only worth as much as we both believe in it, right? So that is the most important difference. So there is, in a token, there is an underlying value. For a currency, it is the underlying belief, a common shared belief or a story that we tell each other that, hey, this is worth $100, this is worth $1, this is worth 1 cent. And it just look at it, recognize it, and we both agree that its value is so much. And then I might say this one is $250. So now we are connecting these just to make life easier. So I don't want to give a sack of potatoes for this, right? And that guy says, I don't want a sack of potatoes, I want a gallon of milk. So he takes my sack of potatoes and gives it to you and gets a gallon of milk. So it's that barter system is how life started, was very, very complicated. So we needed a common denominator, which is called currencies. And currencies were made of gold or a seal of a king or some authoritarian symbol that was apparently hard to counterfeit. So they started finding that some guys could make those coins at home. Now that is not good. So they made it so that they're hard to counterfeit. But still, there are a lot of counterfeiters and forgeries, but largely currencies are difficult to counterfeit, right? So that's the next thing. And then finally, we came to a point where we said, oh, we'll create a digital currency, right? So that's what Satoshi Nakamoto did with Bitcoins. And those are practically impossible to counterfeit until quantum computing comes of age and breaks down the entire cryptography behind Bitcoin. I don't know when that'll happen. But until that time, until that meltdown happens, we can assume that for the time being that it's impossible to counterfeit a Bitcoin. So if we are saying, oh, I cannot forge Bitcoin, but we already talked about the fact that you cannot forge a Bitcoin, but a Bitcoin can be stolen from a wallet. Okay, but going back, so what gives Bitcoin the value? It is a combined belief. So if 2 people believe in Bitcoin, maybe the Bitcoin was only worth 1 cent. When 10 or 20 people believed in Bitcoin, it was 10 cents. So, and one surrogate for the number of people believing Bitcoin is how many people have Bitcoin wallets, right? So because if you're interested in owning a Bitcoin and you actually have a Bitcoin, you need to have a Bitcoin wallet. Is that right? So if you measure the number of wallets, you will know how many people are interested in Bitcoins. And that number of wallets has been growing and growing and growing. It went from 1 million to 10 million to 20 million to 30 million to 40 to 50. I don't know. Now it is probably 60, 70, 80 million or even close to 100 million wallets. So now that, what does that mean? So many more people know about Bitcoins and are transacting Bitcoins. So, and Bitcoin is really a community. The more the number of people that accept Bitcoin and recognize its value, the more valuable it is. So it's purely a belief thing. So the overall belief of how many people believe in Bitcoin will determine its value, right? That's why some people have a hard time saying, oh, this is a bubble, Bitcoin, it'll burst. It doesn't make any sense. Of course it doesn't make any sense because it's belief driven. That's why it doesn't make sense. oh, how can a startup have $130 billion of value in the last 9 years? That is unsustainable because it is not a startup. It has no underlying value. It's a currency. It's our combined belief. It's like a piece of paper called dollar bill. Why does it have any value? It's a paper. Why does this piece of paper doesn't have the same value? It's the same piece of paper, same bamboo. No, it's what is the story that we have told each other about that makes a difference, and how many of us believe in that. So the reason dollar has been such a strong currency is almost like a global currency. Everybody believed in it. But given the amount of dollar bills that have been printed, the dilution, the inflation, etc., of the value over the years, and the removal of the gold standard, so suddenly people might be finding Bitcoin as a more attractive alternative, where nobody has authority to print unlimited amounts of this, so that it will not have inflation, and there's no government controlling it. Oh my God, this is awesome. So more and more people, as they recognize that, more and more people are using it. That doesn't mean it's without flaws. There are a lot of flaws. The slowness of transactions is a major problem. The increasing size is a major problem of the blocks, and then there is other challenges, that the process of mining is becoming more and more expensive. Somebody was telling me that it's costing more than the electricity of Denmark every month to mine Bitcoins, which is,
I think that was me.
so for all the people, yeah, there you go. So for all the people that have been, in other words, what I'm saying is there are flaws. So we don't know if Bitcoin will eventually survive or it'll fade away as the one that made the thing happen. So we don't know if it is an Amazon or America Online. Everybody hopes that it is an Amazon. So again, that depends. As the community is growing, there's a larger and larger interest. More and more people are interested in survival, right? So if there are 50 million people using it, or next year 500 million people using it, there's so much more people that are already have it in their wallet. Do you think they will want it to die and their value to go to zero? So the way I'm looking at it is, the more people that are involved in it, the more legit it becomes, and the more long term it is likely to be. And quite frankly, it is the longest. It's 9 years, and it is counting, and it is growing, and it is stronger. So it is, if I use those two, how many people are using it and how long it's been around will determine the legitimacy of a crypto. I think this will be around for a long time, and it'll keep on increasing value. But that's me saying, you can still lose all your money. This is not financial advice. Don't invest anything that you cannot afford to lose, blah, blah, blah.
But I think we can mutually agree upon that value attributed to any asset, even a piece of paper, largely comes from shared beliefs that people hold. But never, I think, I could be wrong, but I think never in the history of any currency has this happened where to own, let's say, a $10 bill, you'd invest $100 to get that in your possession, like in the case of Bitcoins, where people would pay more to have a currency in their possession.
No, it has actually happened all the time, because if you were buying, let's say, a dollar in 1980s, you would have given 8 rupees and bought a dollar, right? But now 2-3 decades later, you have to give 60 rupees and buy a dollar. So it's no different, except that dollar grew very slowly over time, but Bitcoin grew very quickly over time.
Okay, I think I'm sure to understand this entirely, one needs a very vivid imagination also.
I'm just saying that, think of it as another currency. If you're using one currency to buy another currency, you're using rupees to buy a dollar. 8 rupees, you bought a dollar 30 years back. Now you have to spend 60 rupees to buy a dollar. Why is that? Because the dollar value rose. Why? Because the whole world values dollars at a higher price. Now take away a dollar and put in Bitcoin. So you use so many rupees to buy Bitcoin last year. You have to use so many more rupees to buy Bitcoin this year. Maybe so many less rupees next year, depending upon the price. So it's no different. We have all done this all the time.
I think that does clear a lot of clutter around why Bitcoins are valued as high as they are today. Thank you, Dr.
Awesome.
Khan.
One.
Thank you for listening. If you like our podcasts, please do subscribe to us, like us, and share us. If you have any comments, leave them below in the comment section. And don't forget to rate us on the different portals that we host ourselves. It would help us grow and bring new content to you.
Awesome. Thank you, listeners. Like she said, rate us, ask us questions, and share us. Thank you very much.